What's good, everybody? So today we're gonna be talking about this PC console gaming report by Newzoo that the absolute goat Sticks has posted on Twitter today that gives us some insight and information on how the gacha space is coping and dealing with on PC. And spoiler alert, Wuthering Waves is absolutely mogging the gacha PC space right now. Apparently, allegedly, according to a couple of reports. We're gonna take a look at this tweet by Sticks. We're gonna take a look at some of this data that we have, and then we're gonna go and have a look as well, a little bit of information about the PC and console gaming space right now and where everything is at, because as you guys know, gacha games are in a particularly interesting space right now as time has moved on since Genshin came out in 2020 or the COVID era. Gacha space has been growing on PC more and more. It was dominated by mobile and console, still is, but the PC space overall is increasing in popularity when it comes to gacha games. So we're gonna take a bit of a look of insight of that and have some thoughts. So let's take a look at this tweet right here by Sticks. Wuthering Waves has officially become the #1 most played gacha game on PC worldwide. Not just Western, not East Asia, not Asia, whatever. Worldwide, the #1 most played gacha game, followed closely by Genshin Impact at 2nd place. Also attaining the spot for the #18 most played PC game worldwide, followed closely by Genshin Impact at 19th place. That's really high, and that is massively impressive. We'll go take a look. This is not indicative of total revenue nor mobile or console, okay? This is a PC exclusively, right? Just PC, not including anything else. As we all know, Genshin has a very, very large mobile and console base, okay? Extremely so. So this isn't Woolworths doing better than Genshin or anything like that. We're talking about PC numbers. Bear that in mind before you type out your comments right now. I know you're all gonna do it. It's not gonna happen, but it's PC only. Being the #1 most played gacha on PC, breaking into a market dominated by AAA and high-quality indie games. 2nd place is also a phenomenal achievement. 2 gacha games being in the top 20 PC games worldwide is indicative of the genre's growth, and I'm sure the coming years will continue to see more games dominate on console, mobile, maybe Honkai Star Rail, Zelda Zone Zero, Arknights Enfield, Azure Premilia, Silver Palace, Nemesis to Evanis, and Nanta. According to reports, PC growth is accelerating at an incredible rate and will likely be the dominant gaming platform in the future, with a large push by Steam numbers. Source: Newzoo 2026 PC and console gaming report. Define played by daily logins. I highly doubt they mean playtime. This is the thing. I'm very skeptical of where these numbers are actually coming from, how they derive them. Are they talking about daily plays, total plays, number of different users that play? I think that matters. I would like to see a little bit of how they get those numbers and what they're actually how they're quantitating it. Even where they get the playtimes, because as you know, you can't just tell how many people play a game. So I'm very curious of how they actually derive their data, because this must be some kind of meta-analysis of different sources that they're using to kind of make these. So I have no reason to distrust Newzoo, but at the same time, I'm also taking it with a grain of salt as well, because this isn't public information of numbers and playtimes. It's a survey of 74,000 people. Okay, so it's a survey. Okay, so they did a survey. And okay, well, that changes things a little bit. Okay, they did a sample size. They did a sample size of what people play, I guess. And then they're extrapolating information. Let's go take a look. Marvel Rivals and Wuthering Waves break into PC's top 20 for the first time, but overall playtime remains highly concentrated on evergreen titles, okay? So obviously we have Roblox at #1, no one is surprised, Counter-Strike League. So we have, 2 competitive games, and then Roblox being the massive title that it is. Minecraft, Fortnite, Dota, Valorant, WoW, Sims. I'm surprised Sims is so high. Especially Sims 4. I feel like Sims had a massive fall off in popularity. I'm surprised it's so high, but there we go. Call of Duty, Escape from Tarkov, Overwatch 2. Overwatch has had a bit of a massive resurgence recently as well. Marvel Rivals, of course, big game. PUBG, I'm surprised. PUBG, bro, I don't know who plays PUBG anymore. WoW again, WoW Classic with Lich King, GTA 5 still there, Diablo 4, Wuthering Waves, there we go. Wuthering Waves, bro, Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact being higher than Apex is crazy. Dude, yeah, like Wuthering Waves and Genshin being higher than Apex is wild. I don't really know who plays Apex anymore. I really don't. I have no idea who plays. It's been so long since I've touched Apex Legends. I don't know who plays it anymore. But Wu and Genshin being in this list with these huge giants is wow, absolutely mugging. Okay, these gachas are absolutely mugging the gacha free to play scene. And here's the thing, right? Like, we've got the free to play games. You've got like what? You've got Roblox, Fortnite, Valorant. You have Overwatch, Marvel Rivals. You know, there's a lot of like free to play games that are making it onto these like top 20 lists right now. So you got your mix of competitive and then free to play games, right? That COD is still there. That's shocking. I don't. Call of Duty's had a massive fall off as well. Has had a massive fall off. Let's look at this one. PC playtime growth is coming from a rapidly expanding long tail. Okay. Playtime beyond the top 20. So in 2020, we've had a 44% increase in cumulative playtime share for games ranked 1 to 200. So more people are playing PC games. And I did a little bit of digging, okay? I did a little bit of digging, and that's largely, apparently, because of the East Asia community. Okay, apparently more people from East Asia are actually playing games on PC. So we see in that other report right here that the total playtime remained broadly stable in 2025, contraction on consoles offset by PC growth. So actually, PC time is going up and console time is going down. So that's probably why we're seeing something like this. More people are playing games on PC for longer, less people are actually playing on consoles, and it's probably largely due to the fact that like exclusive titles aren't really something that people care as much now on these games, right? Or on consoles. It used to be the case where you would buy a PS5 or a PlayStation for its titles, same thing on Xbox, but now a lot of people know in a couple of years those exclusivity deals tend to expire and they come out on PC anyway, so there's less people getting consoles just to play those games and more people actually going to play on PCs. So we have this. Also, not to forget the mentions of like cloud PC gaming is a thing that's happening. So people with older machines are able to play higher quality titles because of things like GeForce Now and other subscriptions that allow you to play any kind of game that you want, which is probably something that's going to increase in value or increase in popularity over time as well. There are a lot of different things going on. People don't want to be buying equipment every like 5 years. People are probably going to want to be like, would rather pay for a service that they can keep renewing and everything is up to date. PC revenue set to surpass console by 2028 as platform growth dynamics diverge, okay? PC East Asia led global user base expansion. Okay, so less people are playing consoles and more people are getting PCs. So in a lot of the Western countries, we have PC gaming being very popular, but in also East Asia, it's rapidly rising in popularity too, which is going to be great for the market, but also probably a huge reason why games like Wuthering Waves or Genshin Impact are increasing popularity for the top PC top 20 titles, right? Because as we all know, gacha is dominating the East Asia market space, right? So it makes sense. More people getting PCs in East Asia. Gacha games are very popular there. Suddenly, these titles are entering the top 20 in the global market. That's just kind of how this works, okay? It makes sense. It absolutely makes sense. Premium games drive up revenue on PC and PlayStation despite falling playtime in Western markets. So apparently less people are playing games overall in Western markets of PC and console, but more people are playing premium games. And I have a feeling this is probably down to games like Arc Raiders and Clair Obscur, right? Obviously, we've had the domination of free-to-play gaming, but when you have premium titles like Clair Obscur, like Arc Raiders that people are actually very happy to spend money on, we're seeing a huge rise in people actually paying for games to the point where in 2025, they were up by 17.4% and free-to-play games were down 1.1%, which is quite a lot. And the same thing for PlayStation. Premium games were up 8% and free-to-play was down 8%. We're seeing it across the board. Across the board. people are clearly willing to play for games that they want to spend on. But that still doesn't matter when you have games like Wuthering Waves, these free-to-play titles still sneaking their way up, becoming more and more popular over time. Okay, we're seeing that more and more. And if we have a look at like the current health and status of Wuthering Waves, we can see that actually this is just the Steam numbers. Okay, let's not forget, for PC you can play Wuthering Waves on Steam. You can play it on its client. You can play it from Epic Games. There are 3 different ways that you can play Wua. So this isn't indicative of like any kind of full-scale numbers right here, but it gives us an insight into how people are responding to the patches. And we can see 3.0 has been largely a big success for Wua, considering they're getting some of their biggest numbers, at least since of time of release on Steam, all the way from like April, just before like kind of like 2.3 kind of time. They're getting some of the biggest numbers that they ever have because of these 3.0 patches, and Wua is in a very, very, very strong spot. And let's not forget that even like a couple of weeks ago, we spoke about how Wuthering Waves was entering like the Tencent's like big like status. I forgot what did they refer to it as? What do they refer to it as? The Tencent status, where they're making like so much revenue the evergreen status. A couple of weeks ago, Tencent labeled it like an evergreen game because it was making so much money. Okay, these games are making absolutely so much money, again, despite them being free-to-play titles. Okay, people are willing to spend money on these games. Yeah, the makers money now phase. So everyone that, you know, is doom posting Wua or doom posting gacha games, they're not going away anytime soon. And that is largely because the eastern side of the world, that where gacha is dominated, more of them are playing PC titles. We're gonna see this rise. We're gonna see Wua rising up the ranks. We're gonna see Genshin rising up the ranks, the more people that start playing on PC, which is increasingly more likely over time as less people are playing on consoles. Now, let's not forget, of course, that we also have the mobile market too, and that's not going away anytime soon, considering the fact that like mobile is the most accessible form of gaming that anybody can do, right? But it's just very interesting to see how the PC numbers change over time. I like having my games all in one place. I'm one of those people that likes to play Wuthering Waves via Steam because that's where I just like to have all my games. I used to actually play it on Epic because I had all my gachas on Epic, but as soon as they moved to Steam, I moved too because I just kind of like it. I kind of prefer it, personally. I prefer all stuff to be on Steam. I have 10 different launches. No, me too. I like everything in one place. And on Steam, you have the option to actually like link a game from other launchers to it. So even if it's not directly on Steam, you could still link it there from an outside place and launch it from there too, which is also kind of like cool. So even if it's not a Steam game, you can still launch it through Steam, which is just kind of convenient and something I like doing. But that wouldn't appear in like these numbers if you did that. But yeah, no. It's pretty cool. So we can see right here, Wuthering Waves, number 75 in daily active users, 78 in top sellers. And it had, bro, that's like, for a gacha game, this is actually like really, really impressive, especially because, like we said, you have it on Steam, it has its own launcher, and it's on Epic. Wua is in a very safe and healthy space right now, like a massively healthy space, and that's like really awesome to see. And listen, PC gaming is just going to be on the rise more and more, and despite the fact that, you know, we're in the middle of the AI bubble, we're actually buying a PC or building one for the first time is massively expensive. And if that continues to happen and it continues to get more expensive, we're going to see a surge of people building like lower end PCs, but relying on subscription services like GeForce Now that allows you to do cloud gaming. Okay, so being able to play the AAA titles, the more intensive games virtually with a stable network connection, and that's like increasing in popularity over time. So we're probably going to see more things like that as the years go on and on. And because you'll be surprised how many people actually use those services even now to play games like Wua. Because as we all know, even on like mid-range PCs right now, Wua can like run sometimes a little bit silly, especially in like really like crowded areas. Sometimes Wua can still run a bit silly. So even on PC, people, you know, might be more inclined to do those kinds of things. So the kind of possibilities is kind of endless with that. And obviously, like, a virtual cloud gaming experience is not something that consoles will ever really provide. But it will be for PCs, so it's even more incentive to kind of build a PC or go along with that kind of route as things go on, despite the fact consumer electronics as a whole having a massive jump up in price. A bit silly, yeah, just a little bit silly, man. The prices are just like massively a little bit silly, but that's the current situation with WUWA and PC gaming. So WUWA absolutely mogging the gacha space. I'm a big advocate for a PC gaming, love that. Hey, yo, shit, that's pretty cool. Anyway, if you like what you see, make sure you subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment down below what you think. I'm live almost every single day on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, wherever you like streaming. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you guys in the next one. As I'm kind of editing this video, I went to check what people might be saying about like this tweet from Styx and the information. And obviously, earlier in the video, I was talking about the validity of information like this. And obviously, we have some more information here. It was a survey by 73,000 consumers, and obviously 73 is a sample size, but I think it's a reasonably large sample size of an audience to kind of take into account. That's kind of how these studies work. Obviously, you can't get information of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people willingly. There's gonna be some level of like a bias depending on where those people were sampled from. Apparently, I heard that they don't sample like a China audience or a Chinese-based audience, because if they did, the numbers for gacha games would probably be a lot bigger. We'd probably have other games on there too. So just kind of bear that in mind. Obviously, these numbers are to be taken with kind of a grain of salt. They're nothing concrete 100%. It is from a sample size of 73,000 people who took a survey. I think it's a good thing to keep as an indicator. I think that's what we could take it for. Like, maybe like the actual positionings of things are going to be different in actuality, but I think it's just a good way to look at trends. The same way that I look at, you know, the Sensor Tower revenue reports each month. I'm not gonna take the numbers for like just as they are as a whole. I'm just gonna give it a surface level look, and the best way to look at Sensor Tower information is compare numbers from one month to the one previously for the same game to look at why, because of trend data. I think that's really what you could take away from this, and we can see the trend of, you know, Roblox games, your competitive games, and then obviously, basically the main thing we should be taking away is the rise of free-to-play gacha games being played on PC. I think actually arguing over, is WUWA bigger than Genshin? Is Genshin bigger than WUWA? That doesn't really matter. The take home for me is 100% that just gacha games are being played on PC more and more as the years go on. And that's really the concluding factor of all of this. The positioning is arbitrary. It's whatever. Again, it's a sample size of information. So you can't take anything as being 100% fact. But we can look at trends. And that's what really we should be discussing. So anyone in my comments were like, oh, but the sample size, up with the audience. I get it. I totally understand. I'm not going to sit here and be like, say this is fact. WUWA on top. WUWA beating all these big games. I'm not going to do that. But I think it's cool to talk about trends. That's what I like. So yeah, just a little addition, I guess, like a citation for this kind of stuff.